and welcome back to the AQA GCSE History Elizabeth I Revision Series. This is episode 10 and we're looking at Mary, Queen of Scots. Mary was the only child of James V of Scotland. She was related to the Tudors through her grandmother, Margaret Tudor. Margaret was Henry VIII's sister, the wife of James IV and mother to James V. As a granddaughter of Margaret Tudor, Mary had a strong claim to the English throne. Because Mary was a Catholic, her claim was supported by many of the English Catholics. Mary became Queen of Scotland in 1542 when she was only 6 days old. Her mother acted as regent while Mary was raised in France. In 1558, when Mary was 15 years old, she married the heir to the French throne. However, her husband died suddenly in 1560 and Mary returned to Scotland. In 1565, Mary married the Scottish nobleman Lord Darnley. The marriage was not successful. Darnley hated Mary's personal secretary, David Rizzio, and thought that the two were having an affair. In 1566, a group of Scottish noblemen accompanied Darnley to kill him. In 1567, Darnley was murdered. Many people believed that Mary and her close friend, the Earl of Bothwell, were behind the murder. This superstition seemed to be confirmed when Mary married Bothwell a few months later. Scottish nobles rebelled against Mary, as they disliked this marriage decision. They imprisoned her and forced her to abdicate in favour of her 1-year-old son, James. In 1568, Mary escaped from prison and raised an army. Her forces were defeated in battle, and she fled south to England. Mary hoped that Elizabeth would help her regain control of Scotland, but Elizabeth was unwilling to do this. Mary's claim to the English throne meant that there would be a constant threat of invasion from the north if Mary regained power in Scotland. Instead, Elizabeth had Mary imprisoned and set up an inquiry to investigate whether she had been involved in Darnley's murder. Elizabeth didn't want the inquiry to find Mary guilty. A guilty verdict would lend support to the actions of the Scottish nobles. However, Elizabeth didn't want a non-guilty verdict either, because this would force her to release Mary. Once free, Mary might use her claim to the English throne to try and overthrow Elizabeth. In the end, the inquiry didn't reach a verdict. This enabled Elizabeth to keep Mary in captivity. Elizabeth hoped that this would prevent Mary from becoming a centre of the Catholic plots. So that's the end of episode 10 of the AQA GCSE History Elizabeth I Revision Series. Next episode we'll be looking at the Northern Rebellion. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed.